Scrapyards can be very sad places for petrol heads like us, places where cars come to die, get torn apart and even cubed. But what if, given enough time, a scrapyard became almost melancholic, a piece of art in its own right? We are at the coolest location Drive Tribe has ever filmed at. Welcome to MacLean's Auto Wreckers in Ontario, Canada. Because of the age of this place, a lot of the cars are 50s, 60s, 70s and sometimes 80s American cars, but I've spotted something European. This here is a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. Lovely hand-built, redesigned body that's essentially on top of Beetle mechanicals. Let's have a look if it still has its engine. Oh, that's soggy. It does. So that little flat 4 is still back there. And when cars are in this bad a nick, you look for those mechanical morsels that are still in even half decent nick. And you can just see 2 spark plugs poking out of the side that look okay considering the state of the rest of it. I imagine this will be the prettiest car we see here today, but you never know. My eyes seem to dart to the smaller cars because if a car's too big, it's almost certainly going to be something 60s or 70s American that I simply don't know what it is. I know that this is a Dodge, there's a huge Ford Galaxy through there, but this is a Toyota Celica. That boxy rear end. Oh wow, that is damp in there. I just noticed this. This is literally the start of a tree, and if I just carefully move that, there's so much leaf litter and biology on the passenger seat that this plant has managed to get its seeds into it and start growing. This is going to be, at some point, a full tree coming out of the passenger seat of this Toyota. You get right in there close on the rear floor pan. I'm going to put on Instagram actually, I'm going to take a picture of that and ask the audience, what is that? And all you guys that have seen this video, you can go on and comment, it's the floor pan of a Toyota Celica. But everyone else is just going to think that's the forest floor or the bark of a tree. I've never seen anything like that. The variety of vehicles in the place is pretty incredible too. Amongst the various cars you can find delivery vans, agricultural vehicles, truck cabs and even the occasional school bus. I think this is my favourite specimen in the entire yard. It reminds me of a film called Annihilation featuring Natalie Portman. That's all about a phenomenon that lands on Earth and then slowly starts expanding, absorbing and mutating the world around it, changing it for another purpose. And this car is just slowly deteriorating fully into nature, so much so that it almost looks tree-like. The rust has got a certain coloration to it that matches all the undergrowth around it. And you can see all these life forms, moss, other bits of vegetation that have just attached to the car and are forming their own life cycle. This car, given another 30, 40, even 50 years of erosion, will just become part of the landscape, almost melting into the ground. Fascinating. All this talk of biological growth brings me neatly on to our sponsor for today's video, Manscaped. This channel would not exist and we would not be able to film across the globe in amazing places like this without our incredible sponsors. So it would be awesome if you guys got behind our partnership for this video. Does your downstairs look worse off than some of these cars? Well, Manscaped is keen for your Christmas to come early through their new Performance Package, an all-in-one men's grooming kit that has you literally sorted head to toe. First up, there's the Lawnmower 4.0, a waterproof cordless trimmer built with advanced skin-safe technology to help reduce nicks and cuts in those sensitive areas. The 4.0 even has an LED light to make sure no crook or crevice is out of sight or out of reach. Then we've got the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant, Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray, the Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer with its fancy 360-degree blades, and then my personal favourite and a set I use on the reg, the Shears 2.0 Luxury 6-piece stainless steel nail kit. If you've had as good a year as Jeremy Clarkson, you absolutely deserve one of these performance packages. And to make the deal even better, for a limited time only, you'll also get 2 free gifts, a handy travel bag and these incredibly comfy anti-chafing boxer briefs. So if you fancy one of these kits for yourself, or know someone who could do with a bit of a tidy up over Christmas, click the link in the description below and use the promo code DRIVETRIBE20 to get 20% off plus free international shipping, including those 2 free gifts. Thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. I recognise this. Now North Americans will call this a VW Rabbit, but this is a Mark 1 Golf. Still got its engine in it, and these, now I've seen another one of these up at the entrance. This is a BMW 2002. Now these are pretty damn valuable if they're in good nick. I think this one is a wee bit too far gone. Let's have a look. Yeah, still got that little 4-cylinder engine in there that's tilted to one side. And yeah, there's the badging there. BMW 1600 2002. Amazing. Yeah, see, back home, these are so sought after. So considering there's 3 here, maybe they're just not that big a deal. I would quite like to check out that Beamer to compare the condition to this one. But before we do, I've just noticed the rust on these doors. It almost looks like the rings on a tree to tell its age, especially on the VW. I don't know what causes the rust to do that, and on this Beamer. Anyway, if I... Oh, sorry. Right. Tom, cameraman, if you want to come with me. You good? Yeah, look at that rear. Beautiful. And actually in the boot is the car's inlet manifold and some of its fuel lines. That's probably worth something. Anyone back home in the UK that does 2002 work, hit me up, I'll bring it home with me. That'll fit my suitcase. Right, let's check out this other one, see if it's in as bad a nick as that. So you can see much better on this one. Front grille there. Despite having more tree on it, this one I think looks a bit better. You'd maybe take the bonnet from that one. That is lovely. Again, probably way too far gone. Wow, that's a spiky bit of rust. Excuse me. I've left a bit of my jeans on that one. Don't worry, Mum, I have got my tetanus jab. We've been down the main corridor of the scrapyard, but wait until you see in here. This is pretty much a grotto of abandoned classic cars. How tightly do these trees wrap around each of the cars? It's a bit scary, a bit sad, but also a bit magical. When you look at all of this, you think the owners must have somehow craned in all of these cars amongst the trees, but then you see a car like this, and there's young trees poking up right through the engine bay. This car has sat here for maybe 20, 30, 40 years, and the trees have managed to plant and then grow up through it. I mean, look at this clump here. 1, 2, 3, 4, it's about 12 young trees right here, ready to surround that car right there. Nature is slowly surrounding and reclaiming all of these cars one by one. A little British car here. Lovely little Austin. Another thing I've noticed, I imagined all the engines would be stripped from all of these cars, but it's simply not the case. There's quite a few engines left, but all of the cylinder heads have been taken off of them. So if you dive in here, you can see down into this tiny little 4-cylinder. And I mean, I could peel this off. There's the head gasket still on it. And there's one of the cylinder head bolts, just come straight out. So someone's dived in, taken the cylinder head off, left the bolts, and walked away. This one's not too bad, it's fairly solid. Then over here, that's a full V8 engine, just sitting there, again, with the cylinder heads taken off each side. You can see the valve springs. You would feel like someone could use that in some respect. Maybe not, maybe there's hundreds of these and this is absolute scrap. But you see, parts have been taken off the cars and you start to think, what other projects have they become part of? What have these cars given up that has meant that there's potentially other cars still on the road now? Could we discover, whatever this is, there's one of these existing on the road that has the front wing from this car right here. These cars gave up parts so that other cars could keep living. It's one of the most amazing places I've ever been. You just sort of sit and listen, and all you can hear is birds. What a place. Now I would like to hand over it to you guys. We're going to put a montage together of 5 cars from this graveyard, and all you American car fans, I want you to tell me in the comments what all of them are. If you get all 5, you're a proper US petrol head fan. I struggle with this age of vehicle, 50s to 70s Americana, but let's get the montage started. 3, 2, 1. It's easy to think of these cars as simply broken machines. Discarded bits of automotive rubbish left to rot after fulfilling their purpose. But each one of these machines has an untold story to tell. The day they rolled fresh off the factory floor, the day an excited owner picked up their brand new car from the dealer, countless commutes, long weekends away, ferrying people and things day after day for years at a time.
Come see all the new 61 Comets with extra features other compacts charge extra for, like dual headlights.
The 1965 Plymouth Fury, the biggest, plushest Plymouth ever. 22 exciting models.
For the 1960 Oldsmobile has a ride so smooth, so steady, so silent. It just whispers along.
Now they lie here, their final resting place, serving nothing more than an occasional source for spare parts and a stark demonstration of what time and nature can do to a man-made object. Almost every car here is what you would class as unrestorable, simply not being viable to try and save. But maybe that's what makes this place so special. I think it would be more sad if the cars here could be saved, but the fact that they're so far gone and are starting to return to nature makes more sense to me. Entropy is doing its job and the cars are rusting in peace. So I would like to hear from you guys. What do you make of this place? Does it make you sad? Or do you think it's a better car museum than some supercar-filled pristine hall or warehouse? Tell me in the comments below. I've been Mike, and don't forget to subscribe to Drive Tribe.